Rivet Games are about to release another 2 gameplay packs. This time they are releasing one for Edinburgh to Glasgow, which is something with a Ocean Network Express pink Class 66 and some freight wagons, I think. And the other one is, which I believe has just released on some platforms and will release in a few hours on Steam, is the RHB livery pack, which includes 2 liveries for the GE 4x42 and a new freight car and I think some timetable improvements. And this sort of spurred me to make this video because I hate gameplay packs. It's just the epitome of grubbiness and excessive monetization, which is something I discussed in my very first critique video of Train Sim World 4. And so I just wanted to expand more on why I hate gameplay packs, why they really don't add much to the gameplay experience, and what I think companies should be doing instead. Before we start that, I wanted to sort of talk first about Rivet Games because it's important to establish sort of the groundwork on what we're dealing with. So Rivet are one of the more notorious third parties. They're the oldest third party that has been working on Train Sim World content, and arguably they're the worst as well. So they've made the BR204 for Train Sim World 2020, that was for main s-bahn. They've subsequently released the Isle of Wight, the original route, for Train Sim World 2, and then took the class 483 out of that, turned it into a 1938 stock for the Bakerloo line, which in itself was a gameplay pack. They then made Edinburgh to Glasgow, in no particular order, Edinburgh to Glasgow, Arosa line, the Arosa line anniversary pack, Luzerne to Jersey, and the Isle of Wight 2022 route. And now these additional 2. Oh, and West Cornwall Local and the West Cornwall Local Steam Rail Tour pack. Now, of these, the only one that I really tolerate, or the only ones that the only ones I play really are Arosa line with the anniversary pack, West Cornwall Local, and Island Line 2022. Now, the only one I actually really can recommend, in not very good terms, but the only one that, the best route that Rivet have made, or the best thing Rivet have made, is by far the Island Line 2022. I think most people would agree on that. And by far the worst is Luzerne to Jersey, which is still borderline unplayable in certain situations. And so we've come to expect very little from Rivet. They often abridge routes unnecessarily, and what they do eventually produce is of really poor quality on release, and then will go unfixed, because in their eyes, once they've made the sales, the day one sales, then, things will sort of slow up after that, and if they put any more time into a route, that's just lost money when they could be developing something else shitty that they can sell for money. So that's Rivet, and they're not a good company in terms of the content they make, is the point I want to convey. And the gameplay packs they produced are not good either. So we got the RHB Anniversary Pack, which added some liveries to the GE 442 or 44 Mark II on the Arosa line, and they also added a panorama view coach, which sometimes spawns in, not all the time, but sometime. And there was a new timetable, but I believe the timetable change came as a free update to anyone who owned the Arosa line, because the previous timetable was AI written and was impossible to follow as a regular person. And I was always 5-10 minutes late. It was impossible to keep to. I don't know how the AI did, but certainly difficult in that regard. They also made the West Cornwall Local Steam Rail Tour, which is pointless, and I've played it once, I think. It is nice to have the other liveries for the LMS Jubilee, and I use those liveries outside of that pack a lot, but I don't use the scenarios or the timetabled services within the pack. And the other one, I guess you could say the 1938 stock is, and that's really not very well made. And now they've got the other two, which I discussed right at the beginning. And this, again, links to why I dislike gameplay packs. They don't add anything. Often the timetable updates that are the biggest part of them come free anyway to people who already own the prerequisite route or rolling stock or whatever to which the gameplay pack applies. And by the way, these criticisms apply to all the gameplay packs, not just Rivets. So, you know, the Union Pacific one, the Norfolk Southern one, can't think what else, but there are lots more. And it's just such a, because, you know, take the RHB Anniversary Pack. That cost half of the price of the Eurosa line. The Eurosa line, it being a very bad route, but being a route nonetheless that had terrain, scenery, physics, sounds, and all of them not very good, but you get my point. They had to build all of this stuff, whereas they wanted, for half of that price, they want to charge some work in a paint editor and a single new coach. Just a single new coach. It's ridiculous, and it doesn't add anything. It just doesn't add anything. I think West Cornwall Local Steam Rail Tour doesn't add anything. And these additional packs for Edinburgh to Glasgow and the new one for the Eurosa line, they just don't add anything. It's some extra liveries. You know how I can get liveries? I can go onto the Creators Club. Or I can go to some external site because I'm on PC and I have that luxury, right? And I guess these gameplay packs and the deliveries especially were born originally out of a lack of shareable liveries on console, but that's no longer the case. And I just think the effort that they could spend on this, they could go into like making Bernina Pass the full route. Or, you know, in the case of Dovetail, making Maintalbarn as good as the Blackpool Branches route was. Or in the case of Skyhook, fixing the Midland Main Line. Just roll out some fixes. If you raise the reputation of your company, people will like the company more. People will buy more of the product. You will get more sales. I would much rather pay $60, $70, $80 even for Bernina Pass if it was the full length route and it was very well made. But I will not pay $60 or $40 or $30 even for a half-assed, badly made, badly put together route. It's just not something that I want to spend money on. And Rivet can make good content at times. Like the Island Line 2022 was all right. I don't have that many complaints about it. I mean, it has its problems, sure. It has minor bugs, nothing really game-breaking. It has minor bugs. The sounds aren't fantastic. The physics aren't fantastic. But they're passable. They're no worse than most of the other content that we see these days. But it all comes back to Rivet's unwillingness to invest time and or money in existing content that they've already sold, when they could be pushing out rubbish new content that makes money. And the only way I see this ending is if we just have to stop buying this stuff. And it's fair enough, you can criticize me for this, because I used to suck up these gameplay packs. I own West Cornwall Local, as I mentioned. I own the RHB Anniversary Pack. But in recent years, of course, I've stopped buying these because I have put more of a value on my money. And I just don't see, you know, why should I spend $20 or $30 or whatever on a gameplay pack? Why should I? I shouldn't. Exactly, right? That's the point. And I find it bizarre that people think through the logic. Hey, yes, I am going to buy this product for however many dollars or pounds or euros or whatever that gives me 2 liveries and a single freight car, or a new livery for a train that I've already had to pay for 6 times. It's ridiculous. And Personally, I didn't buy the Norfolk Southern livery pack, even though I have the base route for it. I didn't buy the Union Pacific livery pack, even though I have the base route for that too. And I'm not going to buy either of these two. Certainly not until there's a really enormous discount. If that's the case, then I might consider it. But until then, I'm not interested. And yeah, I just sort of wanted to make this so that if anyone was considering buying these, just rethink. Because if everyone goes out and buys them and says, oh, well, I don't really like gameplay packs, but I'll buy this one just in case it's good. No, right? Gameplay packs should never be a day one purchase. If they're really, really, really good, maybe buy them later. Like the day after. Once really good, impartial reviews come in. You can't take what Dovetail says for gospel. You can't take what I say for gospel. You can't take what the ambassadors say for gospel. Just wait until the reviews start coming in. If the reviews are mostly negative, don't buy it. That's fine, right? You don't need to have a full collection to enjoy this game. You just need to have what you like playing. And for most people, what you like playing is not rubbish stuff. And you will, psychologically, you will not enjoy playing something that you don't think is value for money. Even if it was well made, if you paid too much for it, you're not going to enjoy it. There's a psychological thing. Anyway, I could go on for far longer about this, and I suspect I will at some point. And I was going to structure this, and I had started writing like sort of a video essay of sorts, but I just thought I could talk more and more passionately if I just started ranting, which is inevitably what it would have turned into anyway, and what it has. But yeah, that's really what I want to get across is don't buy gameplay packs as they come hot off the press. Wait. If they look good, which is unlikely, buy them. If they don't look good, don't buy them. And it's as simple as that. Because if we want to send the message to these companies that we're not interested in buying poor quality content, then we should stop buying poor quality content. We should stop feeding the cycle. Because if we say, oh, I'm not interested, but you buy it anyway, they're going to keep making it because they make money. They don't care what you think. They care about money. So let's hit them where it hurts, and let's not spend money on it. And yeah, that's it. That's it. I'll stop talking now. You can go about your day. Sorry for taking up 13 minutes of your time. If you agree with me or you disagree with me, let me know. I read all the comments, regardless of their quality, shall we say. If they're really good, you might even get a little heart. Or if they're really good, you might even get a comment. And Tarang, if you're watching, bye. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. If you haven't, let me know, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Goodbye.